is make sure you're recording, get into Roll20 if
Hi,
you're not
everybody.
already,
I'm
and
in roll 20, but it says do I do launch game?
launch game.
Okay.
And you're going to need to do probably the same AV thing that everybody else needed to do in Roll20, where you're going to go in and tell it to not broadcast your voice and video, because we're doing that via Zoom. Heather has joined.
Yay.
Can everyone check that I set up your token correctly? You should be able to move your token and only your token. Jason's
Yep.
token moved.
Yeah, I'm
Look
good.
at all those
Several
tokens
have
moving.
moved. Yeah, shifting.
Oh,
This is exciting
Futuristic
video action.
technology.
Yeah.
oh, you're all frozen on. Okay. Okay.
So on Zoom, you're not going to see our video on Roll20. So in Roll20, click the little gear in the top right.
Yeah.
And there's an option for others can hear or see you, and I can hear or see. Click both of those to none.
Sorry, people's pictures are in the way.
And then you're gonna go to video
Hold
settings.
on, I can't. Sorry,
Okay,
I
cool.
can't see all of the features because the pictures keep. Okay, hold on. So what did you tell me what you wanted me to do?
So click the gear, and it takes you to the a place where you can
Personalization
change the
display.
audio and video. Yeah, like the third item
Okay.
down is audio and video.
So you want it to be others can see or hear
None.
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 I can hear or
None.
see none.
Okay.
And then there's one more thing after that.
Yeah.
Then there's a
Ready?
little tab where it says video display.
Right next
Yes.
to
And there's
audio video chat.
you want player avatar size names only.
Much better.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunately the default for Roll20 assumes things that are not true for us.
Okay. And that's it for settings?
That's it for settings. You're probably just general thing here is because Heather and Chelsea are new to Roll20, figuring out how you are going to arrange your desktop such that you can have like Zoom and Roll20 and maybe your character sheet, some some way of having all of those in some proximity, but not
That's a lot of
necessarily
things.
visible at the same time.
Yeah. It's not too late to buy a second monitor.
Well, I mean, for today it is.
I
So
just
yeah,
went old school on my character, so
that works.
I have paper.
So I think with that, Jason, I think we are good to go live. Unless you
we're
already
live.
put us live.
This has all been
Great.
live.
All this.
People love 3 minutes of
troubleshooting.
Roll20.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
All right.
And moving our tokens.
Yeah. And Jason distributed the Zoom, sorry, not the Zoom link. You don't want to distribute that, but the YouTube link if you feel like sharing a YouTube link with anyone who might be watching, or might be interested in watching. They can't watch without the link. I'm just gonna check if anyone's actually already watching, because sometimes nerds are.
Oh yeah, they're watching.
6
Nerds?
people are in the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
early?
Yeah. Secret Agent has confirmed audio and video is working, which is
right.
helpful.
That's always good to know.
Always good, yes.
All right, so behind the scenes, before we start the actual adventure, we are starting a new adventure today. We are playing The Slaying Stone, which is actually one of the very first Dungeons & Dragons adventures I ran when I first started dungeon mastering for people about 15-ish years ago. It is an adventure written for 4th edition that I have updated for 5th edition. This is a somewhat low-level adventure. It was intended to start at level 1. Our players have started at level 2 because level 1 is incredibly painful. Yeah. You're at 2, right? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure if someone has secretly made themselves level 3 or something. Jason looked kind of guilty.
Not yet.
But that may just have been his resting face.
Yeah,
so,
that's a resting guilt face that I have.
For people who haven't listened to a live stream / bootleg of this before, Total Party Kill is released in roughly hour chunks, but we frequently record in longer than that with sessions broken up with a break in between. So that is probably what we're going to do today. Anything we need to figure out before we pretend we know what we're doing?
Pretend? Oh,
All
no.
right. I
Pretend.
will say, I think I'm going to borrow a thing that Micah Sargent started doing for some adventures, which I think is fun. For the first episode, I will introduce you just you as a player, and then your characters will appear, and you will describe/introduce your characters.
Nice.
But we will start off with player introductions, and character
Stagecraft.
introductions will happen in the adventure. In all future sessions, you'll introduce yourself and your character right from the get-go. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. All right, I'm going to pretend that I know how to start a podcast and start a podcast. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, Dungeon Master. Use he, him pronouns. And today we're doing an exciting thing. We are starting a new adventure. That's right. We are playing an adventure called The Slaying Stone. Will it feature a slaying stone? Probably, but you could never tell with the choices that my players sometimes make. Speaking of players, let's meet our players. Up first, it's Jason Snell, longtime recurring troublemaker here at Total Party Kill. It is hard to get rid of him. Welcome back,
recurring
Jason.
troublemaker. I like that. That's a good one. Hi,
Yeah.
Tony. I slay all day.
Thank you, Jason. Also joining us, Aline Sims.
Hello.
I guess that's all you need to say right now.
Yep.
We're doing this.
Short and to the sweet. To the point. A new player here at Total Party Kill, Heather Berbert. Am I saying your last name at all correctly?
Yeah, you're so close, Berberet.
okay.
I mean, people like to make it fancy and say Berberet, which half my family has done, but since
Wow,
we're from
fancy.
Montana, I think it's just an artifice. Anyway, I am excited to learn to slay.
Cool.
All day.
All day. Speaking of slaying, it's Chelsea Hackman. Welcome, Chelsea. Another brand new player here at Total Party Kill, and I believe brand new first appearance on the Incomparable Network.
Indeed, it's my debut.
Welcome. And next up, it's Annette Wierstra.
Hello. I aspire to be a recurring troublemaker, and someday I will make it.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
And-
It'll be great.
Perhaps one of the most troubling troublemakers that ever did trouble. It's James Trouble Thompson.
I don't know why I've got this reputation for.
I know exactly
I
why.
learned.
I have the receipts.
All of us do.
Yeah. See episodes,
Yeah.
all of them.
There's a footnote with all the episodes in there. Yeah.
Well,
What
I
What if
know.
recurring troublemaker, but too much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I am playing a lawful good character today, so
Wow. Did you say lawful or awful? Good character.
I mean both are likely.
That's a real stretch, James. From chaotic
Well, we are going to
person
meet.
to
We're going to
lawful
meet
character.
those characters very soon. Our adventure starts, Jason, with you, and Jason is playing a returning character here at
Yes.
Total Party Kill. It's been a while since we met Buffy. Can you remind us of what Buffy was up to last time?
Buffy and some friends investigated a horrible. It was like a town that had a massacre, and there was a terrible magic at work, and you can see it in the horror at Havel's Cross, right, Tony? I think that's what it was
Correct.
called, which came out on TPK in October, I believe, celebrating Shocktober of 2023. Buffy is a blood hunter. She is legally distinct from other characters who might slay things, but only vaguely indistinct from those characters.
Is the name spelled with like an apostrophe? The lawyers would really appreciate it if it was B apostrophe.
It's got a
UFFY.
diacritical somewhere, but you can't see it.
Okay.
It's invisible.
Okay.
It doesn't
Anyway,
render properly.
Anyway,
Oh
so
man, I
she
just got
is,
like a sweaty voicemail from the Incomparable lawyer.
Yeah, I could tell
so-
you the backstory about Buffy, but it's streaming, and one girl in all the world chosen slay things, yada yada yada. Anyway, so she roams the countryside trying to stop evil creatures. That is her curse, her burden, and her life's work and career too.
Well, Buffy, our adventure is going to start with you because in your roaming of the countryside, you came across some goblin bandits, as one does out in the rolling hills and
tell me
the
about
wilderness paths. And, you were able to defeat those goblins. And what was strange is is there a nice way to say looted the bodies? There's not. was that you came across. They had in their possession a kind of a strange map. It looked like some kind of town, but it wasn't labeled, and a note written in a language that I haven't checked your character sheet, but I'm pretty sure you don't understand. Um,
Is it
and you know,
abyssal?
these kind of, it was not abyssal.
Then I don't know it. Yep.
Mm. Do you read and write common?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just checking. It would be real inconvenient if it's only
Buffy only
abyssal.
speaks abyssal. No, abyssal.
Yeah.
Abyssal, which we call
Right.
in our world we call English. It's actually
Yeah.
abyssal. It turns out that's a terrible
Wow, twist.
lesson
Twist.
of D&D. We're the monsters all along, Tony. Anyway, yes, mysterious map and mysterious writing.
And so, you know, I imagine that you were strangely fascinated with this mysterious map and mysterious writing and returned to civilization to find somebody to help out with translating it. And, you know, sensing that an adventure was afoot, you contacted some adventurers that, you know, you've at least known / perhaps worked with in the past, as well as a local professor who's you're hoping will be able to help you
Sure.
decipher these
Great.
notes. And, you know, Buffy, as all great adventures do, this one starts with a meeting. After figuring out the scheduling, which was, you know,
Scheduling's the greatest adventure of all. Yes.
yep. Surprisingly, not that hard for this group. Then you got to figure out the location because it was not a virtual meeting; it was in person. That was tricky. But at the insistence of one Professor Jasper Scroll Eyes, you have agreed to meet at the Sage Quill. The Sage Quill is a slightly more upscale tavern than perhaps your normal dive that you would be hanging out in Buffy. It is located in the town of Varkenbluff, and it's kind of down the road from Varkenbluff University, one of the kind of major places of scholarly works in the otherwise somewhat wildernessy area that you frequent. So you know, I think you're usually used to being kind of more rough and tumble establishments. This is a little bit more of a graduate student hangout. A lot of people with books in this tavern is what I'm saying. The ratio of kind of like major scars to books is very different than your normal tavern situation. And you know, the adventures that you have contacted arrive kind of one by one, hopefully shortly before Jasper Scroll Eyes, professor of Varkenbluff University, himself appears. Aline, I think you're going to be the next person to arrive at the Sage Quill. The doors open, and could you tell us who passes through those doors?
Yeah, Ashrin. I usually have a last name, so I'm preparing myself to have a last name. It's just Ashrin.
Just Ashrin.
Just Ashrin.
Just Ashrin, a Furbolg cleric, a Furblog cleric is different. Very, very tall, big, humanoid, walks in with black hair and furry black ears.
And I imagine you see Buffy over at kind of a big empty table that Buffy has secured, and exchange greetings.
Yeah.
Now, do you and Buffy what is the current status of your adventuring relationship?
I think we just met. Did we just
Okay.
meet?
Killed some
You answered
goblins
like a
one
flyer?
time. Yep.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Okay.
Basically, you know, I don't know. The format of Buffy's life seems to be that she roams from town to town, you know, killing evil things and righting wrongs, and then she's got to move on. So she's met a lot of people along the way.
Got it. Annette, I think you are next through the doors if you'd like to describe who appears next.
Sure. It is Barbara Rabarbar, who, you know, because you know me well, you can call me Barbie. Definitely spell with a Y, not an IE, Barbie. Not the same at all.
The lawyers have given me a big thumbs up from the wings. Yep.
Barbie is a wood elf barbarian, but she is a little more elegant than your usual barbarian, but that doesn't mean she isn't a tough one. Barbie. She grew up in a lovely place, which you might say was her dream home, but she is now putting herself out trying to make the world a better place as a barbarian.
And you see your associates and join them at the big table.
Hello, associates.
Heather, I think you're next to come into the Sage Quill.
Oh, I am Leona Mountain Meadow, and I walk on in. I look around, not used to being in these public spaces, but I'm quite petite, very short. You might call me about half the size
Mm.
of, say, a human. And I am quite eager, though, to see what I can see, and really excited by all these people here and interested in having a pint of something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Sage Quill has pints, though they also a lot of people at the Sage Quill seem to just be drinking tea, but the pints are available.
So that would be hot leaf water.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Chelsea, I think your character is next through the doors.
All right, Dax Voltus walks on through those doors with a confidence that's not really earned. And he's a dragonborn, pretty tall dragonborn of noble birth, so he holds his stature as such, but he's wearing more the getup of a monk as he gathers into those doors. But he's carrying a lute, strangely, and looking about for places to maybe play that lute or to set himself down, and is somewhat disappointed that no one's drinking in this place.
Yeah, or at least not much. There is like a kind of like a tiny little stage in the corner, but it is not very impressive. It's kind of like in a dark corner. It's not well lit. Looks like more of like you're getting, poetry slam vibes, not live music vibes from this place. So
A vibe's a vibe. I'm gonna go
yeah.
join some folks that I might recognize over
Yeah,
at the
indeed.
table with Buffy and everybody.
Mm-hmm. And the adventures, it is not uncommon, especially low level adventures such as yourselves. You gotta find friendship and companionship where you can. You may not have yet forged those deep bonds of repeated life saving that your higher level adventurers have. But it's hard. It's truly being an introvert is the highest challenge rating of all in Dungeons and Dragons. But you got to find people because the adventurers who don't find other adventurers find death. Um,
Which is
yeah.
the greatest adventure of all.
No, it's pretty dark. James, you're next.
So I Celine Silverlight walks into this bar. She's a young human paladin, sort of medium length, pure white hair, practically luminous blue eyes. Not exactly the tallest or strongest person in here, but she walks in carrying a very large warhammer. So she was found as a baby by this paladin order, who raised her and taught her how to fight, and she is basically out in the world adventuring to complete her training before she takes her final oath. And yeah, she really just wants to do the right thing.
And now James will explain that in character to the other characters.
Oh, maybe Buffy waves her over and is like, "Oh, let me tell you about this one. We met.
Yeah.
There were some real bad characters, true evil, and honestly, she wasn't really sure about me either. But then I used my ability to track fiends and the undead to get to a nest of them, and I think that impressed her. That like I'm on the right side. So just everybody on their best behavior a little bit. She's young.
Celine nods that she's basically she is not a fan of fiends or celestials or anyone like that, and she will take them out, but she's also very much about the rules.
I just appreciated a character who might immediately, hello, I was found as a baby by
paladins. Let me tell you, that's more of a bard, Tony. That's more of a bard.
Like she's I would say that she is not particularly worldly wise, so that is the kind of introduction that she would give. It's
Gotcha.
like let me tell you about my orphan upbringing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got a button on her armor asking about my orphan upbringing.
Ask me about my parents.
Yeah, they're dead. Oh no. Why would you do that?
Why did you ask?
The door to the tavern bangs open, which seems kind of unnecessary, and a stout, burly-looking dwarven fellow kind of is standing there in the framed by the doorway. He's wearing kind of shiny red armor. His face is covered in scars. He's got his kind of long beard braided into a kind of fancy thing, and he would look extremely intimidating if his hands were not full of roughly 100 pounds worth of books that he is carrying as he makes his way into the tavern, and kind of just scurrying out from behind him is a gnomish fellow, short, bespectacled. That's not right either. Bespectacled? Yeah.
There you go.
Got
Should I
it.
say it like I'm not
Nailed
asking a
it.
question? Sure. Bespectacled. Thanks for editing that, Stephen. Bespectacled. And he's got kind of wild white hair and is dressed a bit like a dandy. And you get the sense that this might be a professor from the local university. He kind of peers around the tavern and sees your group and like taps the dwarven fellow on the shoulder and waves at him to follow him, and the two of them approach your table.
And what do they
Hello.
say? Hello.
Hello. I'm Barbie.
Hello. Is one of you Buffy?
Here.
Yes, you wrote to me, Professor Jasper Scroll Eyes. This is my servant, Tarek Bloodhands. And you mentioned that you had a map that you needed help with. I am, of course, a professor of cartography, ancient languages, and maps.
You know, it's
Cartography
funny.
means maps. He
I-
says, looking around at the rest of you.
You know,
as
it's
if
funny.
perhaps some of you.
I thought you were Blood Hands and he was Scroll Eyes.
No, well, I'd say we get that all the time, but this is the first.
I know. Well,
Kind of grunts and
good
puts the books on the
news.
table.
I need you to look at this map.
Yes. He pulls out a jeweler's loop, which he fits on top of his glasses, and begins studying the map on the table. Let me just make that map visible to all the players. So here is the map that Buffy recovered from the goblins. Now, the map, for our listeners at home who can't see this map, the map sure seems like it shows some kind of, I don't know, medium-sized town, small city. When does a town become a city? Don't write to me. With a variety of buildings. It's kind of encircled. It's by a river. It's kind of in a little bit of an oxbow situation. There's a drawbridge. There's some fields and probably pastures inside the town with a variety of structures. But the map is missing. First off, any kind of identification of the town that this is, or labels for any of the structures within the town, or any kind of situation of where is it in a given geographic area. Now, tell me what you can about the provenance of this map. How did it come into your being?
Found it on a dead goblin.
Oh, dead goblin. And was there perchance any supplemental documentation with it?
I don't think so.
There's a note, Jason.
Oh. There was a post-it note on the back.
I didn't mail you the physical note. There's a note written
Yes, I
in
know.
a
There is.
language you did.
Indeed. Is it? So it's not on the back. It's just another piece of information.
Yeah, it's another piece of
All right.
piece
Yes.
of paper.
Well, right next to it in the pocket of the goblin in question was this note, which is in a language I can't read and has a strange symbol on it that I don't recognize.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put those both.
I
on
didn't
the
do
screens for the
maps
player.
in school. Okay.
No, I did, young adventure. It's my whole thing. And so Professor Scroll Eyes is studying the map, and then he's going back and forth between the note and the map, and he says it's very, very interesting find. Well, I will tell you, the author of these two documents are not the same. The document here, the note with the text and the strange symbol, well, it appears to be in a particularly unusual variant of the goblin tongue.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know the origins of this symbol myself. Um, but the map is much older than this note, and in fact, I am relatively confident that I have identified the location in question.
Oh,
Hmm.
so
Already.
the note says where this town is.
I am. Hold on, I'm still trying to decipher the note. Uh, uh, the note that I'm unclear about how the note relates to the map. But the map, I can tell you, I was pretty sure right away. The map is it's an old city that's well, it's not even known by this name anymore. But at the time, this would have been a map of a small city called Kirastan.
What was that again?
I will put it in the chat for you. Uh, Kirastan.
Oh,
Right.
Kiristan. Yes,
Yeah.
Kiristan. Yes, yes.
Yeah, and perhaps you don't recognize the name Kirastan because these days it goes by a different name. You see, Kirastan, well, it fell on hard times, and it's more regularly these days known as the Goblin City of Gorisbad.
Oh,
And I am translating the note for you here. A little tricky. I think there's some proper nouns in here that trip me up a little bit. So these are phonetic translations. I apologize if they're not 100% direct. But here's what I got, and he kind of translates it on the back. And Buffy, here is what the translated note reads as.
oh, hold on a second. Find Hujat. Severed eyes. Seek slaying stone. He will help or suffer. Signed, V.
Yes, now
That makes
so it
sense.
didn't mention the Kirastan, of course, but I guess it makes sense that it would be in some kind of goblin language, given the goblin's control of Kirastan or Grisbad. But interesting that it mentions the slaying stone here. Little bit of local history there. But yes, so congratulations, you've got a note. I've translated it for you, and you now know where this map goes.
So, what is the slaying stone?
Mhm.
Oh, well, thank you for asking.
You kind
See,
of left it right out
Kirastan.
there. You made me do
Oh,
it. You made me do it.
Kirastan, back in its heyday, was basically famous for their so-called slaying stones. These were magical artifacts that the rulers of Kirastan controlled, and the idea was that you could use a slaying stone. The rulers controlled these stones, and basically, simply speaking the name of a creature to whom you wished ill intent would cause them to drop dead.
Wow.
I think Celine's ears
Whoa.
perk up and she's like, I think we need to get this stone to prevent
Now,
it falling into the hands of
I want to go
these
to there.
goblins.
now, as you can imagine, Karastan was not always in the best of terms with their local neighbors. Depending on how you read the histories of the times, and it is, challenging in that Kirastan is not really around to write its own histories, but many of the neighboring towns and cities and settlements to Kirastan frequently felt, well, extorted in trade negotiations with the city of Kirastan, and this became a problem when a goblin army marched into town. Many decades passed, and none of the neighboring towns came to the aid of Kirastan, and the city fell and has been a goblin city ever since.
Did they just have trouble pronouncing goblin names?
I suspect that some of that, or simply not knowing the names of the leaders, knowing the names of the elected leaders, or otherwise noteworthy individuals of the other more permanent settlements in the area, gave them power and influence. But perhaps they did not know the names of the goblin leaders themselves, and so something that what made them quite powerful had limited implications. So this is interesting. This suggests that they're there is at least one or more slaying stones still out there. No one has seen one in, well, it's probably been 30 or 50 years.
Well,
I, yeah, I mean, we need to get this. I think my order would be well suited to look after this stone, so that nobody uses
somebody
it
new
for
uses it. Sure.
evil.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Can somebody give me any kind of or I feel like you might be think to give me some kind of history check because there's a lot, this is your standard start of adventure info dump, but feel free to give me a history check on any of the various proper nouns or things that have been mentioned in the last 10 minutes or so in case you want additional background on those.
Buffy.
I rolled a
19.
I rolled 0,
All
so
right. um, I take it you were
Not
that
paying
paladin
attention.
order that raised you was mainly into brainwashing, is what
I mean,
from
there was a lot of combat training. There wasn't
well,
really quite so much history.
history. Yeah. Okay.
I rolled a
I also
19.
rolled a 0.
Okay.
High five.
Celine, you and I are going to get along just great.
All right. So Celine and Barbara, 0. Dax, did you roll not a 0? Is that what I
I
heard?
rolled a not 0, a 19.
Woohoo!
19. Dax, is there a particular thing about the various things that you think that you might be knowledgeable about? Be it the goblins, Gorazbad, Kiristan, the Severed Eyes, the Slaying Stone. What is something that you think that Dax might have heard about in his travels, given his bardic proclivities?
Well, if any of those people are great warriors or have any
Mm.
great songs written about them, Dax might have heard one of those.
Okay. I think you recognize the name Hujat. Hujat is a hobgoblin known for leading like a battalion of goblins. And you've heard of Gorazbad before. I don't think you were familiar with the previous name, Kiristan. And you know that he's kind of there's kind of a the closest there is to a horror story ballad about Hujat and ruling over Gorazbad, and that, no one should mess with him, lest ill befall them.
So, as his last name probably implies, Huge at Severed Eyes is not the best guy out there.
Hmm.
There's definitely songs about him ravaging through
Hmm.
Gorazbad and making
Hmm.
the general area into a wasteland for him and his goblins to
Hmm.
reap what they will.
Now, I
Maybe.
will tell you the grammar of the note is a little strange. Hujat's last name is not Severed Eyes, so it's a little unclear what Severed Eyes means in the context of that note there.
Interesting.
So, strike that then. Just Huge at that
Yeah,
guy.
just Hujat.
Huge at-
Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Goblins
Buffy,
don't have commas.
Buffy is
Mm.
all.
Yeah,
is,
I think the punctuation on this note is lacking.
it's just
Um,
scrawled.
Parlez-vous goblin, anyone?
Yeah, it's hard to translate the grammar. Buffy is obviously interested in the history of the Slaying Stone, and in
Mhm.
a huge waste of dice karma, I rolled a crit on my history check.
Oh, you know about the Slaying Stones. You know that they were created by a powerful order of tiefling magic users, that in service to one of the original rulers of Kiristan, who like took in a group of tiefling refugees, and basically like their descendants kind of became pledged to Kiristan, and to the human noble family that ruled over Kiristan, and they would construct these dangerous magical artifacts. Buffy, you know that the slaying stones themselves are not particularly visually distinctive or ornate. They just look like a rock that's got some runes carved into it. These are not the Fabergé eggs of magical artifices. But the idea that you can hold this rock in your hand and speak the name of a creature, I think you even know that, at least according to legend, you have to like think about the creature in your head, and then that creature immediately drops dead, is a powerful artifact. Um, I think you know that some of the details of the slaying stone, in terms of like how many charges does each stone have, or what does it take to recharge a stone, or other things like that might be lost to time, but you are familiar with at least the story of how they came to be.
Would I possibly recognize one if I were to see it, given my
Yeah,
knowledge? Yeah, I could
we'll say yeah.
see the rune or whatever and be like, that's a
Yeah.
slaying stone. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Would I have
Thankfully,
any additional? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go on.
Would I have any additional background on this noble family, being that I also come from a noble family and we tend to know each other?
Yeah, give me a history check with advantage.
So a 19.
All right. Basically it is the Kiris family ruled over Kiristan for generations until the downfall. And I think you would even know that there are basically some survivors of that lineage still kicking around, kind of living they're not living large anymore, but they are technically still part of noble circles. And I would say that whether through judgment of their actions or just the fact that they are not rich anymore, they are generally not well regarded in noble society.
I was just thinking that Celine doesn't actually know what her real name is, so I am working on the assumption that that means that no slaying stone can kill me.
Mm.
I wander over because there is a very large person now sitting at your table, which has caught my curiosity. But I've also been listening, eavesdropping. Hello, everyone. I'm Leona, and I can't help but overhear your very interesting conversation. It looks like you might be preparing to go out on perhaps a quest. And I wondered if you are looking for small people to join you on this big quest. And I rolled a 19. And I'm curious about this note and this symbol on this note that you have here.
Oh, you'd be welcome to join us. I think
Yeah.
I think we've all agreed that we're gonna go.
Do you know anything about that symbol
Leona,
or
was
about
that
the severed eyes?
Leona, was that a 19 on history or a 19 on charming the group?
It was on history, but we can
okay.
do charm too.
No, we'll give you the. So, Leona, you recognize that symbol. Perhaps you have seen it before. You recognize it specifically. It is the symbol of a group of Orcish mercenaries who are known as the Severed Eyes. Membership to their group is limited to orcs, and they are basically uh, they do pretty not so nice stuff for cash. So it seems like whoever wrote this note, signed with just one letter, is a member of the Severed Eyes.
All right. Well, that I do recognize that symbol, and I thought that's what it was. My teacher had warned me about these people, warned me away from them. But these slaying stones sound quite dangerous. And I think that if they can hurt any entity, then they must be gathered and destroyed, because we don't want to be hurting anything at all, any living creature. So I would love to help find these slaying stones and get rid of them.
I'm not sure that we should destroy the stones. I think they should be in the hands of people who are good, so that they can fight. No, so they can fight evil. I mean, it's a powerful weapon, and I'm sure my order would be very interested in it.
I would spend a lot of time debating about where you're gonna keep these items that you haven't found yet.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Well, so orcs,
I mean, I think we.
Hujat, the goblin, is with maybe the orcs. Yeah. A hobgoblin might be with orcs in the Severed Eyes, and they might have the things. I don't know. That's interesting.
I would say probably many of you would be in a lot of goblinoid in the goblin community. There is a hierarchy, and the hierarchy tends to be kobolds are at the bottom, and then like one level above them, goblins, and then one level above them, hobgoblins, and one level above them, orcs. Just so you know the hierarchy. It's basically it is a political hierarchy as well as perhaps a food chain, and a level of bullying, and so on. So, you are possibly now deep into behind the scenes goblin politics now, in terms of a letter being written probably from an orc to goblins about a hobgoblin.
Does anybody here speak Goblin?
No.
Well,
I speak Abyssal though, so we can have
we
secret
can talk in
conversations in
Abyssal,
that.
but it's not going to help.
Yeah, you can talk to demons from the
Anything
abyss.
celestial, infernal, draconic, I can do all those. Mostly about fighting other planar creatures, not so much goblins. Sorry.
Mundane goblins. Oh well.
Yeah.
Not going to be a lot of talking to goblins in this adventure set in a goblin city. Oh well.
I mean, you could have warned us about that one, but oh well. It's fine. Maybe we'll find a friend along the way to be our goblin translator. Who knows?
There's 6 of you already. There's no more friends.
You could have like 5 NPCs.
Yeah, each of you gets a pet, and that pet gets a name.
And that pet speaks
and each
goblin.
Pet speaks several languages. Yeah.
And whispers in our ears.
Yeah.
It's a babel fish.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that too.
So Professor Scroll Eyes is like, well, this is all very exciting. I mean, I am curious about a slaying stone. I don't know if I actually ever want to see one, but promise me, if you happen to find one, you'll write me a letter.
Hey, wait.
Okay.
Professor guy. Hey, wait.
Yes.
Smart guy who speaks goblin. Do you have or know where we can get like a little goblin primer, like a little phrase book or something? I feel like whenever I travel somewhere, I like to speak the local language.
He snaps his fingers at Derek Bloodhands, who does not like that. And Derek Bloodhands reaches into the pile of textbooks and pulls out a particularly heavy kind of dictionary-sized textbook that seems to be Goblin 101. But Jasper is still thinking as he kind of taps his head as Tony does a Google search.
Oh.
I don't know. I just want to like be able to see if that sign says pit with spikes in it or bathroom.
Sometimes it's the same thing.
Those are the same thing, I know, all the time. But I just,
the bathroom's right above the pit with spikes.
Yeah.
Jasper
reaches into his pocket, which it seems like he must have some kind of magic woven into this old his kind of tweed suit coat, as he pulls out a helmet that there's no way that was fit into the just kind of the pocket of his suit coat, and he puts this kind of strange helmet with kind of goggle eyes on the table and says, "Now, technically, this is property of Arkenbluff University. But if I were to lend this to you, I think I would have to. Would all of you be fine signing something that says you are temporary research associates of Arkenbluff University?"
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, it's not a lie.
No,
I'm
technically
assuming.
it will be true.
By signing it will be true.
Then I'm happy to sign.
All right. There's a round of drinks is had as Derek writes up the paperwork, and you are all sworn in as teaching assistants, research assistants at Varkenbluff University. With there's a lengthy section that says that you will receive 0 compensation for this work.
Interns.
Yeah. But in return, you will take temporary possession of some Varkenbluff University property, speak specifically 1 helm of comprehend languages. This kind of, let's be honest, not very cool looking helm that covers like 85% of your face, allows you to cast comprehend languages at will, which is a spell that for 1 hour, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface the words are written on. It takes about 1 minute to read 1 page of text. So
Whoa,
yeah.
that's
All right.
faster than I read now.
That
Is
seems like that'll
there?
be useful.
Who's our
Yeah.
most
Yeah, I mean,
charismatic, maybe, person?
Did you guys bring anyone charismatic in this group?
I've got a 17 charisma.
Yeah, but James, can you play a 17 charisma character?
I have a 15
No,
charisma.
I can like drop down to a 17. I could probably do that.
Oh, okay.
Slumming it. I see.
Hmm.
I have a lot of charisma. Not surprising.
not shocking. Where's
Mm.
who does this helmet fit?
As a magical item, I believe it will fit anyone. It will just kind of
Anyone.
adjust to the
It's
whether
a one
whether
size
you
fits
are
all.
dragonborn or
I mean-
halfling or humanoid. I guess all of those are humanoids or human. It will fit. So
Can
or
we
furbolg.
just put it on each of our heads, cast the spell, and pass it around?
I think
We
you
have
have
to
to
attune?
attune to it. So no.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we also have to be touching the surface, right? That the
I think that was
reading.
just
on?
for reading.
reading.
Just for
reading.
written.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
just for
sorry,
written.
just for reading.
Yeah, just for
I-
written language.
So you can just have it on your head to talk. You don't need to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, great.
I think our highest charisma. Well, is it just comprehend? You can't actually speak it?
Tu-tu-tu.
Excellent question.
Is there another helmet that will let us speak it?
I think it says you understand. I guess it's you comprehend it. So it does. I guess it's mainly for it's for hearing. It's not for speaking it. You need because it doesn't go over your mouth. You need the add-on gas mask version that gives you the
So we
speaking.
can translate goblin speak, but we can't.
We can't
We
speak
can
that.
Correct.
translate it to
Still
And you
halfway
would hear
better.
it.
By the way.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
halfway there.
All right.
I mean, maybe on our adventure we'll find
In that
another thing
case,
that will let.
in that case, I don't know who should use it.
I am very
Probably,
low in wisdom and very low in intelligence.
yeah, same here. I think it should probably go to somebody who can understand and
Smart. One of the
reason
smart
it.
ones.
Yeah, like we hit
Do we
things. We're
have
not
that?
really.
I have a 20 on wisdom and a 17 on intelligence and a 19 on charisma.
Okay, there we
Okay.
go.
There's
I
winner.
vote the little one gets the helmet.
Yeah.
Little one
I
gets
am
the helmet.
Tiny
terrible
one.
at
Make you look
languages,
bigger.
but-
Mm.
Yeah, is it a big helmet?
It'll
Will it
fit you.
stay big
It'll
when I put
shrink.
it on my
It'll shrink
head?
It's
down.
whatever size you want. So if you want it to
Size
be
of your
slightly
head.
too big,
Yeah.
I want
All
it
right.
big. I want to make my head look big.
Well, you may
It
need a
will.
hat for that. Um,
On top of the helm.
Well, Heather, congratulations. Leona gets the first magical item of the adventure, a helm of comprehend languages. That is, you can, if you have the ability to navigate D&D Beyond, you can find that magic item and add it to your character sheet. But the main thing, it will allow you to understand languages. You don't speak. Guess what? Big one is comprehend languages. Also, good thing that for the purposes of my adventure, that no one had that to begin with, or you wouldn't have needed to talk to this professor, and because you would have just read the note on your own.
Mm.
Mhm.
So yeah,
If we'd
know?
remembered, we'd had it.
Tony,
Yeah.
can you say what it's called again officially?
yes,
Helmet.
helm of comprehend languages, or perhaps comprehending languages. Jasper is he's enjoying that he's gotten to spend some time with some people that are not at Bluff University. So he's not in any rush. In fact, perhaps he'll just stay here and have some tea when you are all ready to head off to your adventure. Do you have any other questions for this lovely gnomish professor or his burly dwarven book holder?
Nope.
I feel like I want to ask the burly dwarf who's seen some things if he's got any advice for us going into the heart of goblin territory. Does he have any? I mean, I've fought some goblins in my day, but he seems to have much more experience than I do.
My advice: don't.
Okay, thanks.
But if you have to,
Uh-huh.
just choose your moments. There's a lot of goblins in Gorisbad. You don't want to fight them all at the same time, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You need
Makes
to get them
sense.
all lined up in an alleyway.
Mm.
So we
There
do them
are-
one at a time.
There's more than one alleyway worth of goblins, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Thank you.
they're evil, so we should fight them.
I mean, they're
How'd you
probably
get-
not all evil, but most of them are, yeah.
How'd you get this job?
I got a bad knee, and I don't really like
Oh, yeah.
leaving the city anymore. I've done the whole adventuring thing. It's nice,
used to-
paid for this armor, but thanks for asking. A lot of people would just see me and be like, "We don't need to talk to that guy."
He used to be an adventurer like us once
Yeah,
before he
that's it.
took an arrow to the knee.
Yep,
Mm.
reference acknowledged.
Oh, sorry, my computer just shut down. It never does that. So I apologize. Just
That's
getting
okay.
back up to
Jason
speed
asked some
here.
character questions of the dwarven bodyguard.
We need you to start recording again,
Yeah, make sure you're recording.
and we don't have your video.
I
a
have the video.
Do you? I don't.
I do.
Okay. Oh, I see. She fell out of the video. She's back. All right, great.
Cool.
Okay, I'm recording again. Okay, sorry, everybody.
It's all good. Yeah. So that's the backstory of Derek Bloodhands,
Nice to know. Nice.
book carrier.
Blood knee.
Yeah.
Well, should we equip and begin our travels and head out to Gorizbad and
Yeah.
begin our
Mhm.
our investigations of finding
Okay.
Hujat and the
West.
severed eyes?
Yeah. So where Gorsbad is / the former site of Kiristan, as some people know it. It is probably about a week's travel, and it's going to take you pretty far, kind of off the beaten path into the wilderness. We are beyond the greater Varkenbluff area as you head out there. So I imagine that you'll secure some supplies and
Mhm.
get all of your ready for adventuring that one might need to do as you gear up for adventure. Any specific tasks that you need to do either individually or as a group before heading off into the wilderness?
Presumably, Leona will attune to the magic item, and we'll just do the usual supply run thing, right?
Okay. Got it. All right. So you are trekking across the wilderness. At first, you're able to kind of follow, like, you're on a main road, and then you're on a side road, and then you're on a trail. And sometimes there's not even trails as you head in the general direction of Gorisbad. Tell me, is somebody in this group good at navigating the wilderness who can kind of plot the most direct path across the wilderness to Kiristan?
Well, assuming that that's a nature thing, no. I didn't really get to leave the order very much, so
A
this
lot
is
of
all new to me.
inside combat training, no books, no
Yeah,
books, no trees.
It's like
Um,
nature, mud. I
Yes.
don't really. It's new. It's all new. It's exciting, but it's new.
Yeah, pretty urban.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Mhm.
I spent my life in the forests, but I don't have like a preferred terrain or anything, or a
Or do you have a reasonable nature score?
not oddly, no.
I'm a
Spent
wood
a lot of
elf.
time in the woods, but just don't like the
I
woods.
was looking for like medicinal plants and stuff. I wasn't like learning
Barbie?
all about nature.
Uh-huh.
Barbie, wood
I
elf?
am a wood elf with a -1 nature because
You're a wood elf who hates the woods.
yeah, basically. But like I
No.
I really like living in a dream house and having like a really shiny axe. It's
Yeah.
really pretty and I polish it a lot and
Yeah.
I didn't go out in the woods the same with like the other wood elves. That's
Yeah,
why I
you're from
became
the
a
woods.
barbarian.
Got it.
I
Okay.
yeah. I'm from the woods. I'm not of the woods.
Leona's last name is Mountain Meadow. Any chance
Yeah,
there's
Leona,
some
any
nature
chance you're-
survival in there?
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like I'm taking on much responsibility here, but I
Nice to meet you, Leona.
I am a druid and ran to the forest to escape my family, so I probably could help out here.
Leona, give us a quick nature check as you try and find your way across the wilderness in the direction of Eurosbad.
Just mechanics question. Do I add
Yeah,
my nature score here?
you
Yeah,
do.
I do. So I have a 19.
That is very good.
Whew.
So, Leona seems confident about traversing the wilderness, and it is hard when there is not a trail, and you are just you're going through hills and woods and figuring out what's going to keep you headed in the right direction, what's going to not waste your time going up a mountain you don't need to go around, and but Leona keeps you on path, and you are headed there. You think after several days of travel that you're getting close um, to Garizbad, and I'm going to just carry over your very high nature track, Leona. Uh, you know that you're in somewhat of a dangerous territory as you have spotted some wolf tracks on the ground in your vicinity. Um, and so I think you probably are all a little bit on guard as your path takes you to an old river crossing that you are going to need to navigate. This is a place where there is, the ruins of a road, perhaps a road that at one point led to Kirastan, but the road has not been used in quite some time, and somewhere in the time past, the bridge that used to span this little river has fallen down, and perhaps some other travelers have laid some planks across the gap, but it's does not look like the safest crossing. It also, even for relatively green level two adventurers such as yourself, there's a lot about this situation that suggests, if one was going to attack people on the road, this would be where you would do it, right?
Can I see how deep
Yes.
the river is?
Um, yeah, give me a quick perception check.
17.
It does not look like it's too deep. It looks like it's probably between 5 and 10 feet deep, but it is, it's kind of a bit of a cliff area here, so the river is 10 feet below the span of the bridge, but not super deep. We're gonna say
Does
mainly 5 feet deep.
does those wood boards across the bridge look pretty sturdy, or are they gonna like fall the second we set
The
foot on
word
them?
that comes to mind is rickety.
I got a 19 to a perception check to look around and see if I notice like any signs that there might be somebody nearby that's not in our party.
Yeah, Astrid, you are looking around, and you notice that the woods have gotten very quiet. There's not the sound of birds that you're used to, suggesting that there may be some kind of predator nearby.
I let everybody know.
So there are wolf tracks here. This
Mm,
situation concerns me a lot. I think we should try to figure out what happens here before we cross that bridge.
mm,
And I can shape water so I could get us across, but I'm a little concerned about these wolf tracks.
mm-hmm.
How
I'm
fast is
assuming
the river moving?
I tell you, not fast. It's a pretty lazy river.
So, like, realistically thinking, Dax is looking to see if he can swim.
This would be a very easy to swim river.
that even if you're wearing chainmail,
I was just
Well,
thinking that too.
I mean, it would be an easy to wade river. Um, I'm just saying, as far as rivers go, this one is high at the swimmability scale. You may bring your own things to that situation that make that easier or harder, such as being covered in metal.
I mean, like we could cross at a different point
Mm,
if we are not, if we don't like the look of this.
mm.
Um,
This is the place where there is some kind of architecture spanning the river. In the case here, it's being a collapsed bridge with some boards put in place. But you could certainly just try and ford the river.
How
Go
rickety do
upstream or
the boards
downstream.
seem, Tony?
I would say that they are, there are 5 on the rickety scale, which is to say they're old boards. They've been placed there for a long time, so they've been exposed to the elements. So I don't know. Do you want to go up to that one of those boards and give it a poke?
I mean, I'm happy to investigate. Buffy would be
Yeah.
happy to just leap over it too.
Barbara also just kind of wants to jump over it.
I will say
Yeah,
the span of the boards is only probably about 10 feet, which for some people would be not an incredibly far distance to jump with a running start.
Yeah, if you've
We
got good athletics.
could always
or
tie a rope around
acrobatics.
the first person.
Yeah, then they can pull other people to their
They
death.
can
I mean,
exactly.
sorry, help them. Yeah.
That's my preferred tactic.
I am big and slow, so I'm not sure that I could leap across, but I'm also not sure that the boards will hold me, so I guess we'll see.
I'm gonna swim this thing. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I love a fresh, clean river. It looks nice.
Buffy's willing to just take a flying leap here and try to get over to the other side and then see if she can help everybody else up.
I could make a floating iceberg, and Dax could push it across with everyone who is afraid of swimming in the water.
we're not
Does that work?
afraid.
Okay, uncomfortable with
Concerned.
water. I could make an iceberg of 5 feet square, and everyone could hop on it and huddle together, and Dax could push us across. Thoughts?
I mean, I like this idea of an iceberg. I've never done that before.
I was just gonna ask if Tiny wanted to ride across the river, so that sounds great.
Yeah, and we can just float down the river and get lost somewhere.
Sure.
We could. We
Well,
don't have to
that could
cross. We
avoid-
could just do the river.
Yeah,
You don't
it could
you don't have
avoid
to-
this dangerous point.
You don't have to go to Gora's bed. You can just say no. We live on the river now. How long does this iceberg last for?
It lasts for an hour.
We
And then I
live
could
on the
cast
river now
another
for an
one.
hour. Okay, well, we live on a river now for several hours.
All right.
Reject that call to adventure.
We're just going to be polar bears now.
Yeah, just polar bear. Nothing bad happens to polar bears.
Totally down for that.
Slaying
if I can make
stone.
our own
No, we're going
iceberg.
tubing, man.
Yeah,
Are there rapids? I could form it into a boat, and we could do the rapids.
it's a pretty modest river. It doesn't seem like there's rapids. Honestly, doesn't seem like it should be that threatening to be delaying you this
Yeah.
much. But here we
Buffy-
go. Is
Buffy
your,
leaps- Buffy
your
leaps
first
across.
obstacle.
Buffy leaps
All right, give me an
across.
athletics check, Buffy.
20.
All right, Buffy, you easily clear the span of the river and are on the other side of the bridge. I'm watching your friends discuss various iceberg mechanics.
I do a roll and land on my hands and then roll up and do a flip. And I'm like,
Okay,
it's good.
you rolled athletics, not acrobatics.
I mean,
I think
I'm proficient in both.
Oh, well.
Celine, feels that somebody should not go it alone, so she will also attempt to leap across.
Give us an athletics check. Again,
that is a natural 20.
All right,
2.
you also land on the other side of the
I
bridge.
do a slightly more complicated landing
Yeah.
maneuver.
And and then we fist bump at the end of it.
Yeah.
As you fist bump, you hear growling, and several lupine creatures emerge from the from the bushes around you, possibly dampening your spirits vis-a-vis how awesome you are at climbing or traversing rivers.
I
There
nimbly
are-
run across the board.
All right, give me a quick acrobatics check to nimbly run across the boards, Leona.
Does acrobats have its own add-on?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
It probably
It's the
uses your
top of
dexterity.
your modifier list, yeah.
Okay, so I have a 13.
All right, you make it. All right, I'm gonna pause people there. So 3 of you have crossed the river. 3 of you are watching from the other side of the river. There are basically a pack of wolves has appeared from the bushes. There's 4 wolves kind of menacing you, and then watching from atop a short cliff in the back is a much bigger, angrier looking wolf, possibly a dire wolf. Can everyone just confirm me that I have set up the map correctly? See 4 wolves and then a 5th mean, bigger looking wolf in the distance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So 3 of our adventurers have crossed the river. 3 stand on the other side, waiting to figure out what was happening. And wolves have joined the situation. A classic second level Dungeons and Dragons combat encounter is about to happen. Will you be torn asunder by wolves? Will you ever make it to Kiristan, aka Gorizbad? Will you uncover the secret of the Slaying Stone? Answers to some of those questions, but definitely not all of them, will be presented in the next session of Total Party Kill. I think that was roughly 1 hour.
Yeah, a little short,
it
but
was.
that's
Correct.
fine. Yeah.
We did it. Okay. Is it? I thought I wrote down 12:08. Did I get it wrong? I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, 09. Yeah, you're right.
It was 09.
We have
All
some
right,
stuff
cool.
that'll get taken out, but yeah, it's an episode. Totally.
All right. It is an episode, listeners.
It is an episode.
So I think we're gonna take a 5 or 10 minute break and then come back and figure out what is next.
I gotcha.
Jason, do you have the ability to pause the live stream
I
with
do,
your
and
current setup?
I will do that shortly. And I just want to say that I didn't realize how vertical these maps were, so I got to make a vertical map layout of the live stream while we were going, but it all worked out. And now we have a vertical layout too, which is
Fun.
awesome.
That's exciting.
I like the vertical layout. It's good. Got lots of wolves.
I guess I could have shared my maps with you ahead of time.
Well, yeah, but
I
then you're giving
didn't.
away the story.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yep.
wants that. So
Yeah.
it all worked out.
I just want you all to know I did not read the story ahead of time. I'm not quite sure why all of my abilities here, but I'm sure we'll get to a place where I have
I'm
unable
glad
to
somebody in
respond.
this party is competent. Okay, 5-minute break. 5 to 10 minute break.
All right.
We'll
pause
be
the
back in a
recording?
moment. The live stream.
No, don't
Nope,
pause.
don't
Keep it
pause.
running.
Just leave it? Okay.
Yeah.
Just leave it
Okay.
going. Alina, are you okay? I saw a note about your cat.
Yeah, it's fine. He fell on a
As we all wave.
Now I can hear you. Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Hi,
That's so
we're back.
weird.
We're back.
We're at. Okay, now Jason, you were in the isolation booth, and
I
you
was.
have 30 seconds on the clock to name these 10 things that
Okay.
none of us named. And I don't know anything else about the mechanics of games that use an isolation booth.
Chicken.
And so this
Taco.
Family Feud.
Purple.
ding.
Potato.
Survey says
Aggressiveness.
And
Humanitarianism.
out. Humanitarianism?
Yeah.
No.
It's a philosophy where you like people.
Okay.
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get it. Ouch. Accurate burn. So,
I've
right.
known you for a while now, Tony. Come on.
Too long, really.
Perhaps too long.
All right, we are back. We are about to start our second and final hour of Dungeons and Dragons for the afternoon. We are playing Slaying Stone. People about to fight some wolves. Classic level 2 Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Anything we need to figure out before we start the episode?
Just one question. I rolled a 7 in athletics before you stopped us and divided us. So I will keep that roll because it'll make things interesting.
Thank you. That is that is a choice that you're making. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do before we start the episode. I'm going to ask you to roll initiative and put your initiative in the initiative tracker, and then I will introduce you in initiative order.
You're going to need to add us to the turn order.
I suppose it will be on the screen in a second once I have set it up correctly, which I haven't done yet. So it should now. Do you all have access to initiative tracker?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta add some wolves to it. Hold on. I wish those wolves looked slightly different on the initiative tracker, but that's how it is. The little wolves are going first. The big wolves are going. The big wolf is going much later in the order.
It's very cute that they move. Little wiggly
bugs.
Yeah,
it's a very Pokemon style.
I purchased animated D&D sprites.
I'm so excited.
That only people watching the video can watch.
I mean, should we kill them? Really, they're so adorable.
Jason, do you have an initiative for Buffy?
You gotta give me a second. I have to do some.
I can plug it in for
the
you.
Shape
if you're
of
doing
the okay. Let me tap. I'll just tap and I'll tell you what it is. 14 plus 2, 16. I gotta.
Okay.
I gotta do
I imagine
the
you're
turn
doing
order
window
appeared,
management.
So I gotta now add the turn order, which takes a minute because it's in a different place and it's different shape. Messes up my wonderful vertical window, so now I gotta do a horizontal window. It's all behind the scenes. It's stagecraft, everybody. It's just exciting, fun stagecraft. I gotta make it taller because there's wolves.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I find it helpful when the video stream has the turn order.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a service that we provide.
Well,
to our viewers. And then I can go a little bit bigger over here. And
remember, everybody, Jason likes doing this. I don't understand it, but he likes it.
I do.
We appreciate it.
It's the feeling of accomplishment? Question mark.
Oh, Jason, you've accomplished something finally. It's inside this context of Dungeons and Dragons, but I mean,
what's
I don't
that
know.
like?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
That's something for. I mean, you've never accomplished anything elsewhere. That must feel pretty great.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to start the episode. I will introduce you in initiative order. James is asking me a question.
Just before you go in, I have just one slight question. In D&D Beyond, for the damage for a weapon, I've got damage, and then underneath that, I've got a slightly grayed out, slightly higher damage.
Probably two-handed versus one-handed, I would guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
you might be able to check whether you're using that weapon one-handed or two-handed. If you've got something like a shield,
I do have a shield, so
you have to use it one-handed, which means you are not as good, you're not as damagey, but you have a shield, which is very useful.
yep. Okay.
So, yep, cool. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Tendlar, a Dungeon Master. Today we are continuing our adventure, The Slaying Stone. Our adventurers have set out in search of a long-lost magical artifact, an artifact that it is said you must simply speak a creature's name and it will drop dead as long as you hold this magical titular slaying stone. But before they could even get to the lost city where that slaying stone is said to be, they're gonna have to fight some wolves on the road. That's what we do here in Dungeons and Dragons. Wolves on the road, level 2. Allow me to introduce the players in order of initiative because they're fighting wolves. And our players will introduce their characters that they are playing. First up, James Thompson.
I am playing Celine Silverlight, she, her, who is a human paladin who is apparently going to kill some wolves with idealism.
Also joining us, Jason Snell.
We're here to kill some wolves and take some names. Do wolves have names, Tony? I hope they don't have names.
Depends on the wolf.
Wolf 1, Wolf 2.
Did you want to introduce?
Oh,
that
sure.
You're playing
I
Buffy?
am playing Buffy, the blood hunter, who is good at slaying things. She thinks.
Yep. And yet you're still looking for the stone. Also joining us, Annette Wierstra. Welcome back, Annette.
Thank you. I am playing Barbara Rabarbar, who is a wood elf barbarian, level 2. She is going to kill some wolves with her shiny axe.
Recent addition to Total Party Kill, Chelsea Hackman. Welcome to your first fight in Dungeons and Dragons on this podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Dax Voltus is a dragonborn monk who's going to be punching some wolves in the face.
Everybody loves punching wolves. Next up, it is Dr. Heather Burbert. Welcome back, Heather.
Thanks. I am playing Leona Mountain Meadow, who is a halfling druid. She, her, all of our pronouns, she and me. And I am most definitely going to try to not kill these wolves and get them to try to get out of our way. All y'all, just so you know.
It will be a complicated situation with teamwork and reaching consensus. And last but certainly not least, your friend and mine, Aline Sims. Hi, Aline.
Hi, I'm playing Ashrin, the Furbolg cleric, and we've got to figure out how to get across this river.
You do. So the challenge here is that half of the group, they did not split the party. I split them in time. Half the group has successfully jumped across a falling down bridge or nimbly climbed across some rotting beams of wood. When the wolves appeared, the other half is on the other side of the collapsing bridge. In safety, where a wolf is less likely to get to them because there's 3 other people much closer to the wolves. So, Celine, you're going to get to go first, and then the wolves are going to go. So just to paint the picture here, Celine, Buffy, and Leona are on the wolf side of the bridge. Dax, Ashrin, and Barbara, wolf-free side of the bridge. So, James, take it away. What will Celine do?
I mean, this is a fairly clear-cut situation that Selena is just going to run in and, try and defend people from these wolves. So
You're going to defend people by offending wolves.
Well, I feel that the wolves started it.
Oh.
So
by being born as wolves.
Look, some of us are just naturally good. Celine is going to run towards the nearest wolf, and while she's running, sort of reach behind, pull out the warhammer, and then just sort of like swing it in an arc and try and connect it with this lead wolf.
All right, lead wolf who has done nothing wrong to anybody ever in its life.
I mean, look at them. They're kind of, those wolves are
as you
gyrating away.
as your warhammer arcs through the air, you notice that this wolf has kind of a sickly pale look to its fur, suggesting that it's a vegetarian wolf. Please roll your attack and damage.
There's I just can't do anything about momentum. I have rolled a 22.
That will hit a wolf. That is unnecessary.
And to do, there's my D8. It does. That is going to do 9 damage to a wolf.
That badly injures a wolf. Let me see if this works with my animated sprites. If I put a little red dot on it, it's still a sprite. Yeah, little red dot indicates a badly injured wolf. All right, you have badly injured a wolf. Are you happy?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm now looking, I can't do anything else. So yeah, no, that's it. I hopefully they all flee now because I've taught them a lesson.
The wolves converge on Celine. So wolves, fun fact about wolves have pack tactics. They have advantage when they are attacking somebody in a group. So I'm gonna roll a bunch of attacks with advantage on Celine here. 4 wolves are going to basically try and maul you. Wolf number 1 has rolled a 20 and a 12. Gonna take that 20. Does a 20 hit Celine?
It does.
9 piercing damage as wolf fangs. Let's see. Oh, Jason says advance the turn tracker. I can do that. I can play Dungeons and Dragons correctly. 9 piercing damage as that wolf tears at a gap in your armor, Celine. Wolf number 2 attacks you. Does an 8? I rolled an 11 and an 18. Does an 18 get you?
My armor class is 18.
So the answer is yes. 9 more piercing damage as a wolf tears at you. Celine
We're
is
going to see how idealism only gets you so far in life.
Celine is starting to look like this is starting to look like an educational video of like how to get mauled by wolves. A questionable video entry in the series of wilderness survival. I will tell you also, Celine, every time a wolf attacks you, you need to make a strength saving throw to not get knocked to the ground.
Okay.
A third wolf attacks you. I rolled a critical fail and a 17, so I believe you've established that that's not going to get you.
Yep.
And a fourth and final wolf attacks you. 22 is going to hit you. 5 piercing damage.
Well, I am bleeding out, unconscious on the ground.
All right.
Wow.
Wow. Nice knowing you, Celine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to roll to see if I fall to the ground because I'm just, nearly dead.
Yes. Nearly dead is not the same as dead, though. Let's remember that. So, Buffy, you are next. Selena's rush forward is probably only 15 feet ahead of you and been savaged by wolves. There are 4 wolves kind of standing over Celine's body, kind of gnawing at some limbs. One of those wolves is badly injured. 3 of them are mint condition.
I don't like this at all.
I don't like it even less.
Buffy is going to rush in and attack the wounded wolf.
Okay.
With my glaive, that's a 22 to hit.
Definitely hits a wolf.
And that's going to do... Oh, I get to re-roll that because I rolled a 1, but I have the great weapon fighting skill, so I get to re-roll 1s or 2s. Isn't that nice?
1s and 2s?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's 12 damage.
All right, you slay that injured wolf.
Yeah,
it goes
it.
down.
That's why they call me Buffy the Wolf Slayer. Come on.
Wolf Slayer, yeah. There are 3 angry wolves now staring at you.
Okay. I think that's all I can do.
All right. Barbara, you are next.
Okay, so I am going to try and jump and leap over this chasm, but I roll a 7 athletics trip check.
You launch yourself off the edge of the bridge, and it's not a far jump, but like that last place that you kind of like launched yourself from, like the bridge kind of gave way as you launched yourself, and so suddenly you kind of tried to push off of what then became thin air. Give me a quick acrobatics check.
A 9. Wow,
Oh no, you
good dice karma.
You grab at the edge on the far side of the bridge, and that too kind of crumbles away in your hand, and you land. You can decide whether you land on your face or your back. But the important part is it's wet. You are in the river that the bridge spans. You're gonna take just a little bit of damage because it's a river. Rolling the dice. Come on, roll 20. 1. I rolled minimum damage. You bang your head on a small rock as you splash into the water. But probably the main thing here is you are now in the water, 10 feet below where the fight is happening. And I'm gonna say that costs you the rest of your turn.
Sounds sad, but also apt.
Yep.
I'm just glad you don't see me die.
I'm coming. As soon as I can.
I mean, this would be a tragedy in terms of falling off a bridge and landing in the river if somebody wasn't being murdered by wolves. So it's really
I feel a little guilty about it, honestly.
Just a footnote. Yeah. Now, Dax, you are next. Dax Voltus, you are on the non-wolf side of the bridge. You and Astrid are there. You have seen 2 people leap across the bridge. One person, a halfling, nimbly cross the kind of not so great looking boards propped up spanning the bridge. So assuming you want to cross the bridge, there are questions as to how would you best do that given who you are.
Well, I want to cross the water, not the bridge. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go through the water this way.
All right, now I will say you have to kind of climb down, cross the water, and climb back up.
Okay.
So I want an athletics check for you to do that.
All right. And we got an 18.
All right, it is no trouble. You climb down. You're a big, tall dragonborn, so you just kind of wade across the stream and you climb up the other side. I will say, going down, going up takes you a little bit of movement. How much is your total speed for your character?
40 movement.
I'm gonna say you can get across. You're good at that. And especially down seems easy. Climbing down is easier than climbing up, right? Like I assume.
Always.
All right. Yeah, you're up on the other side, and if you want, you have enough movement to close with a wolf if you want.
Yeah. Let's close with this one.
Okay. We move up to one of the wolves that is gnawing on Celine's leg.
Can I help Celine?
Don't slip on the blood.
Yeah, if you have does Dax have the ability to help Celine in some way?
You know what? No, I don't have anything for healing or anything like that. I was just maybe going to try and drag her out of the jaws of the wolves.
Yeah, I can heal, but
you could punch that wolf.
All right, well, I'm going to punch that wolf then.
All right.
Let's see here. It's a natural 20.
That will punch a wolf.
And my unarmed strike does 1d4 plus 2.
You get a roll 2 for, was it a nat 20?
Yes.
Oh yeah, remember nat 20, so double your damage dice.
So that's 10.
Okay, you just punch that wolf right in the head, right in the snout, between the eyes. That wolf looks as surprised as a wolf could look. This wolf has never been punched in the face before. The wolf is still alive, but badly hurt. I don't know if as a level 2 monk, if you get more than one attack on a turn.
Not
You
yet.
do not. Okay. Leona, you are the only one left on the other side of the bridge. Not counting Barbie, who is halfway, across the bridge.
I crossed the bridge in the last turn.
You're right. I apologize. I mix up Leona
right.
and Ashrin. You are safely on the other side.
I almost nimbly crossed the board.
Yeah.
So I have a bonus action. Can I heal Celine? Can I do healing word on Celine first and then talk to the wolf?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so
Yep,
I
do it.
do healing word on Celine, and what do I roll a 20? Sorry.
I think healing word just happens.
Okay,
So
just happens.
yeah,
Okay, so I think you get a hit point back, right?
I think it's more than that, even at level 2. Let's see.
I'll take as many as you've got.
It's 1d4 plus whatever Leona's spellcasting modifier is, which is probably a small integer. Um,
Sorry, this is the part I'm really bad at. Where's the
no, it's
spellcasting
okay.
modifier?
Above your spells, there's probably like a spellcasting modifier or spell save DC section of your character sheet. Um, I know where it is in D&D Beyond.
Where is it in D&D Beyond?
It's kind of top right of the screen, I think. Does that sound right? People who actually have D&D Beyond in front of them.
If you're in D&D Beyond, if you go to your spells tab, it's in the middle. It has the modifier plus your spell and your spell attack and your save DC.
Oh, I see. +3. Got it. Thank you.
There you go. So Celine gets 1d4 plus 3. So roll a d4.
A 1 + 3, so just a 4.
Okay, 4.
I'll take it.
And
Celine
then
sort of gasps
yeah,
from the ground.
the
And
wolf that
then
was
I-
eating your foot is surprised by this.
And then I'm gonna do speaks with animals,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna ask these wolves what is going on. They do not look very healthy, and what is their intention by coming up to us, to our party?
Can she
Okay.
do both a healing word and a speaks with animals in the same turn?
Yeah, I get a bonus action
No, cool.
as a druid.
Okay. The one of the wolf that was gnawing on Celine's foot kind of growls back at you, hungry, um, angry.
How long can I keep talking to them? It doesn't really say. Can I ask another question?
I think it's a solid minute.
Okay.
Which in the context of combat is basically forever.
Is very, yeah. What are you angry about? I asked.
Goblins hunt our food.
What is your food?
You.
Where are the goblins?
I think that's about as much as you can do in combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we know they're hungry, people.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know that. Trust me.
Maybe we could offer them something other than our own bodies to feed.
Mm. Ashrin, you get to go next. You are the only person on the far side of the bridge.
Yeah. So I guess I should rectify that. I'm gonna try to cross the rickety boards.
All right. I'm going to ask for acrobatics across the rickety boards.
Why didn't it roll? Ooh, there's a 17.
Okay. You cross without any trouble.
All right. I guess my move is to fire a crossbow bolt because my move speed is 20, so I can't get very far. So I'm gonna aim at the one closest to me, which would be the one furthest south.
Okay. That one's already injured.
Got a 19.
That'll hit.
And that's 4 points of piercing damage.
All right. That wolf was previously injured, and so it goes down.
Okay, that's my turn.
All right. The big wolf that had been kind of watching from this overlook is next. And it is just going to leap down from that cliffside. And I think it's going to go for Buffy is the most threatening threat, or at least one of the few, you're on the front line and you're not unconscious. So the big wolf is going to go forward and try and attack you, Buffy. Rolling with advantage. I have rolled a 10 and a 19. 19 seems pretty good.
19 hits.
All right, you will take 10 piercing damage, and you need to
Oh,
make a DC 13 strength save to stay on your feet.
that's brutal. Yeah, 19.
All right, you don't get knocked off your feet by the wolf, but it's not great. All right, Celine, you're next. You don't have to make a death saving throw, amazingly, because you've got 4 hit points.
I do.
There are 2 regular wolves and 1 dire wolf. Still, it seems like they are intent on feeding on your team.
I could try and cure myself slightly of this near-death experience. Um, or I could try hitting them, but I think if I hit them, I'll just get bitten again and go down quite quickly. So I'm gonna try and cure myself slightly of this lack of blood. And I have rolled, I get 7 more hit points, which is slightly better.
What's your maximum?
20.
Okay.
So I'm at 11 now.
Celine did get attacked by 4 wolves, 3 of which hit. So
yeah. I can now take 1 more wolf hit.
Yeah.
So,
well, dire wolves are worse, let me tell you.
And I think that's about all. Well, yeah, I can't really get out of the way, do anything useful.
You could stand up.
Yeah, well, can I stand up having just cured myself, used an action?
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
your
move.
movement. Standing up is half your movement speed.
All right, well, I will. It was
Alright.
like, yeah, if this was Nyasa, she would consider whether standing up was
I
the
am
right
familiar
thing
with
to
how
do.
Nyasa Nightweaver, the never seen character that strikes only from the darkness and leaves all of her friends to be murdered by bad guys, works.
But that is not how Celine does things.
No.
And Celine will stand up and face these wolves.
Well, that is going to determine then what the wolves are going to do. The wolves are next, and Celine, you have stood up, and that means a wolf is going to attack you.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I have rolled an 18 and a 19, so you get 6 wolf damage and make a saving throw against getting knocked down. The other wolf is going to attack Buffy.
I rolled a 19, so I'm standing.
You're fine. Buffy, 21, as a wolf tears into you, 5 piercing damage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It is your turn, Buffy.
Well, Buffy's in bad shape.
Celine can take 1 more wolf bite and is then down again.
That's fine. You guys have a cleric, right? And a barbarian that's in the river. So you know.
I think Buffy's just got to attack because that's all she really can do.
Yep. Your choices are either a regular wolf that just bit you or a dire wolf that has recently bit you.
I'm going to attack the dire wolf.
All right.
And I rolled a 1. So that's that.
Oh. Great moments in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Barbie, you're in a river. How's that?
It's a little wet. I'd really like to get out of it. It's kind of ruining my hair.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to do an athletics check to climb up this riverbank?
I
and join
would
the
like
fight?
to do an athletics check to climb up out of this river. Well, I rolled a 7. I need to switch my tactics for dice rolling.
Yeah. It's hard. The riverbank is really muddy, and so you're just like and you slide back down. And so you're just getting all your boots are completely full of water at this point. I'm sorry, Barbie.
Kind of ruined, honestly.
Yeah. Sorry, Annette.
I'm coming, I swear.
Chelsea, Dax is next. There are 2 wolves that have not been hit and 1 big bad scary dire wolf.
Okay, and I was incorrect before. I guess I do get a bonus action of another unarmed attack if I use one. But for this, I'm going to go right at that dire wolf, and I'm going to use an unarmed attack and then flurry of blows.
Nice.
So unarmed attack number 1 goes to A 12?
12 will not hit a direwolf.
Sad.
This is a tough creature with a thick hide.
If I
You
miss with the
accidentally.
unarmed attack, do I get to use the flurry of blows or no? If I expend a key point?
I think you can still do the flurry of blows. I
All right.
don't know for sure. I have not played a monk myself, but I believe you can.
Well, I'm going to expend a key point and I will go with 2 attacks. One of which is a 16
16 definitely hits.
and one's an 8.
8 does not hit. Roll that damage for the
Boo.
16.
All right. Let me double check and make sure the damage is the correct one. Yep. That one is 4.
Okay. You
Cute little
swat
smack in the face.
Yeah, swat the direwolf on the nose. The direwolf growls at you. Um, okay. Um, Leona, you are next. I think it probably occurs to you that despite your best intentions, diplomacy is going to be hard to work out here given how much blood has been spilled. But it is your turn.
Truth. Though I have very little that I can do against the wolves, but I think I can lift Barbie out of the water with shape water
Oh, okay.
and pull her out of the water. So I'm going to take the water out from underneath Barbie and I'm going to move it up into the air onto the ground on the banks at the top. So Barbie's out of the water.
Sounds good to me.
And then on
Barbie
Barbie
my,
says, "Thank you."
you're welcome. And then on my extra, I have some good berries. Who needs it the most? I don't think I can tell from here. Who needs a good berry?
I mean, I've got a 5 out of 20 hit points. I don't know about Buffy.
Buffy, what are you at?
3.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
I'm going to give Buffy a good berry.
Okay. So a good berry is a medicinal I don't know if it's a fruit or a vegetable that druids create. And I guess you could just kind of toss it over at Buffy. Buffy,
Yeah,
you
it's
catch it in your mouth.
1 hit point per berry,
One
right?
hit point.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many of those do you
Mhm.
have,
I
Leona?
have 10.
Okay. And I think you have the
So,
ability to make more every morning. Is that how it works?
uh, but look, I think, yes, Dex says yes.
Okay.
But I
Uh,
think I can only give one per turn. Otherwise, I'd give Celine one as well.
I am not sure how that works in combat.
Yeah.
Some targeted throwing, I would say.
Yeah. So,
So, can I toss Celine at one?
yeah, I'll say yeah.
Okay. So, Celine, I'm tossing you a good berry too.
Yeah.
You get a
Oh.
hit point back.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thumbs up from the ground.
Yeah. Okay, Ashrin, I think you are next.
All right. I'm gonna move toward the combat. I was just looking to see. I think my only healing spell right now is Cure Wounds. So I've got to decide whether I'm going to help Buffy or help Celine.
Classic philosophical dilemma.
Yeah.
Who goes? Celine goes next. Yeah, Celine goes next, so I guess I'll do that. So Celine, take 12. Take 12 hit points.
Ooh. Okay, I'm back in the game.
And unfortunately, that's about all I can do.
All right.
You get 2 thumbs up.
Big bad scary dire wolf is next. Well, somebody punched this wolf in the face, and that wolf, the dire wolf, is unhappy about it. It's gonna snap in your direction, Dax Voltus. Oh, 24 and 22. I'll take the 24. That's 8 piercing damage. You need to make a strength save to stay on your feet. But that is the wolf's turn.
DC 13.
DC 13.
All right, I did not fall down.
All right, that's, I mean, it's not like that would be a lot worse than your current situation, but it would be probably bad for morale. So let's see who's after the big bad wolf. We go around back to the top of the order. Celine, it is your turn.
Well, I'm feeling much more like myself again. Don't know what happened there. Just a momentary blip. I will swing my warhammer at the top right little wolf.
Little wolf. Yep.
Let's see what I can do. Uh, ooh, quite good. That's a 23.
That hits.
1d8 plus 2. And that is 9 damage to that wolf.
All right, another severely damaged wolf.
And that's all I get to do this turn.
Okay. I will just mention to you, the whole thing with these wolves are they get pack tactics, right? So they have advantage when they are with friends. So if you can make it so that they don't have friends, they will be not nearly as lethal as they are.
I'm working on
So,
it slowly.
yeah, slowly. So you tried to murder a wolf. That wolf is going to try and murder you, Celine.
Bring it on.
Well, I rolled an 18 and an 18, and we know an 18 hits you. Yeah. Please enjoy 9 piercing damage and do a DC 11 strength save to stay on your feet. The other wolf is gonna go for Buffy. Oh, I rolled 2 criticals. So I guess in a way I wasted a critical, so
Yeah,
that's
you really
something.
did.
But that wolf savages you, Buffy, for 13 damage.
It doesn't really
What was my
matter.
damage?
I'm
Was it
down.
9 for me?
9.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
Buffy is on the ground. People, other players have been there before. Guess what? First combat of the adventure. First death saving throw of the adventure. Jason, you have a backup character who's really into maps and goblin notes, right?
Sure. I mean, why? Who
Yeah.
wouldn't?
Maybe that guy speaks goblin. I don't know.
I did stay on my feet, by the way, just for the records.
6.
That is not good. All right. Strike 1 on death saving throws. Hello, Barbie.
Hi. I am dripping wet and I fling my hair and I'm in a shampoo commercial and I go into a rage. I'm mad, which gives me +2 on my attack rolls. And I go straight for this dude right here that Selena had just attacked. And will my dice karma change? I'm going to physical dice. Let's see.
Dice by physical calc?
22.
Okay, you attack that wolf. Rolled some damage.
And 5 points of damage.
That is enough to finish that wolf off. 1 dire wolf, 1 regular wolf remain.
Do you get pack tactics across dire wolf and wolf bands?
You do. They're part of the same pack. So it's a flat hierarchy. Dax Fultus, you are next. There is 1 big wolf right in your face that you have been attacked by, I believe. And also a nearby little wolf that has, knocked out Buffy.
I'm going to use my acid breath weapon on that dire wolf.
Wow. Now you might check, is it possible that acid breath weapon can affect a dire wolf and a wolf standing next to a dire wolf?
It's a line, but it's a 5-foot by 30-foot line. So that's up to you, Dungeon Master.
5 foot by 30 foot. I'm going to say that you can they're right next to each other. I'm going to say you can get them both in it.
All right, let's get them both then. Let's see.
So basically, this is the thing you do as a Dragonborn where you just breathe acid on people, Yep.
Anti.
And that guy is a 8. 2d6 is 8 damage.
Oh no. Do we roll something to see if it hits?
Oh, let me see what the 2 hit on that guy is.
I bet they roll a dexterity or something.
They roll a dex. Oh, okay. Dex DC of 10. Okay.
All right. Dire Wolf is going to try and evade it. Dire Wolf rolled an 11, and then the wolf is going to try and evade it. The wolf has rolled a 21. These are relatively dexterous animals, so I think
I got an 18 on my breath roll.
Oh no.
Do they
roll?
They roll, I think, on this.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do they take any damage on a miss, or do they just evade all of it?
They take half damage on a miss.
All right, so roll damage, and they will take half of that because they both kind of dodge out of the way.
All right, 2d6. Let's go. All right, 6.
All right. They're each going to take 3 damage as they get misted with acid.
3 acid damage.
3 acid
Indeed.
damage. All set. Dax, is that a bonus action or is that an action?
Hold, please. That is an action, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, that is an action, and I don't think I can only if I take an attack action can I do my flurry of blows or unarmed strike. So we're done.
Okay. Leona, you are next.
So can Buffy be revived? I mean,
Yeah, if you
not in the necromancer way.
Yeah, technically Buffy is only unconscious. Buffy
Yes.
is dying, not
Oh,
dead.
okay.
Someone could feed Buffy a good berry.
Or do a healing word.
Or do a healing word, which would be better than a good berry.
Yep.
Or
So
if somebody has none of those, they could stabilize them with the healing check, which is the least exciting of those options.
So I'll do healing word on Buffy, which is a 1d4.
Plus, I think 3 from before, right?
Plus 3.
Yeah. So I got a 1 again.
Well,
okay.
hey, it's
4.
better than dying.
Better than dying.
You got that, Buffy?
Yep.
And then I could give Buffy. Wait, how's Celine? Is she hanging on?
I'm not bad. I'm 9 out of 20, so
Okay. So can I give Buffy a good berry too? Then?
Sure.
Okay.
I think there's even the idea, Heather, for future adventures, if you want, you could have, if you have a bunch of good berries, you could have like dispersed them ahead of time potentially. So.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. In the
Take
morning,
good care
I'll
of
do
these
that.
people. Anything else, Leona?
I think that's it.
All right, Astrid, you're next.
Okay, so Buffy, you have 5 hit points, and Celine, you have 9.
Yep. I'm probably good for a bite.
All right, so I found the thing I was looking for earlier,
You
which
got some
was
kind of wolf killing spell that you
no channel divinity preserve life
anti-wolf.
So I'm gonna use my action to give Buffy 10 HP.
Oh.
Instead of dividing them up, I'm just gonna give it all to Buffy.
Okay.
And then
thank you.
My next turn, hopefully I can help Celine out. And that's it. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, Big Bad Wolf has had acid sprayed on them, and so they're going for you again, Dex. Let's see here. I will say I've had a extremely good run of dice rolling here, which is not to your advantage. Because I have been just rolling great. So I rolled a 24 and a 12. I will take the 24. So Dax 11 pierce. Oh gosh. Dax, that is the third player character to go down this fight with just a bunch of wolves on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, level 2.
Level 2.
Makes me think differently about ever leaving my house.
They are very, very hungry.
Very hungry wolves. So conveniently, Dax, you do not need to make a saving throw to stay on your feet because you're, excited for you. Celine, you are next.
Well, we need to get these wolves down to one wolf, and then they'll be slightly less dangerous. And I think the best chance of doing that is the little one.
Yes.
So I will attempt to hit the little one.
All right.
And I have 22 to hit. So
that definitely hits.
Pretty good. And 1. So that's 3 damage to this wolf.
That wolf is badly hurt at this point, having taken a previous hit from somebody else.
But did not kill it. So
did not kill it. And so that wolf will turn and attack you, Celine. Bite. 22. But only just a little nibble.
You're literally killing us.
Yeah.
4 piercing damage, Celine.
Tis but a bite.
All right, Buffy.
Buffy stands up and attacks the wolf in front of her.
Okay, the not dire wolf.
Swinging the glaive. 21 to hit. Damage.
Definitely hits.
12.
Okay,
Nice.
you murder a wolf. A single angry dire wolf remains, but no longer with the advantage of a pack to back them up. We will see what's going to happen to that big bad wolf. Anything else, Buffy?
Nope.
Barbie.
Barbie is going to come along the top here and get this dire wolf from behind.
Okay.
And 19.
19 hits a dire wolf.
And I get an extra +2 on damage because I'm raging. So
angry.
that is 9.
All right.
damage.
A big attack on the dire wolf. A dire wolf still not bloodied, but definitely not looking as well off as before. Dax, you're next. I think you do a death saving throw.
A saving throw be death. All right, that's not the right one. 18.
Okay. I mean, it's not great to be doing death saving throws, but you're at least not one step closer to death. Leona.
Okay, I know you said about the good berries, but I'm done. I have passed all my spells, so can I give Dax all my good berries?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I think I have 7 left.
All right, you feed Dax them while Dax is unconscious on the ground.
Just shove them in her mouth.
Yep, you might have
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
the Dragonborn's jaw,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit like when you give a cat a pill. I think
Right.
I imagine is just what it's like to feed a unconscious Dragonborn good berries. You rub the throat, yeah.
Push him down the throat there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Certainly,
Okay.
if Dax asphyxiates on good berries, that would be really tragic. So,
All right.
Dax, I think you gained 7 hit points and you're back up.
Woohoo!
All right.
Okay. I think is that it? I think that's it.
I think that's your turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ashrin. I mean, everyone's alive, so but things have been rough.
Okay, Dax. So I further read Preserve Life. Never played a healing cleric before, so
Yep,
I'm learning
everything's
people. So my channel divinity can actually only restore people to half their hit point maximum. I can't go any higher than that. So Dax, how far are you from half your max?
I am at my max. I'm at half my max. So
you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Buffy?
15 out of 18. I'm doing great.
Okay, Celine, how about you?
I'm 5 out of 20, so I could take 5 more.
Okay, so
but there might be better things.
Well, you could attack the dire wolf.
Yeah, if you can kill the dire wolf, we can figure out healing afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack.
Celine's like, I'm fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire crossbow bolt because that's my best damage. That's a 21 to hit.
Wow!
So that
right in the side of this dire.
Max damage into the side of that dire wolf. That's 8 points of damage.
All right. That dire wolf is bloodied and looks very unhappy about this situation. All set, Ashrin?
Yep.
All right. Well, this dire wolf is bloodied and has lost all of its friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances. I'm going to roll a d20 to see if this dire wolf is going to run away or stay and fight forever. If it rolls above a 10, it's going to stay and fight forever. I have rolled a 6. Direwolf is running away. Direwolf runs away. I think that provokes from anyone who is next to it. Yep.
Buffy, Barbara, and Dax.
I am absolutely going to take a swing.
Barbara, Buffy, and Dax, if you were conscious, which I think you all are, you all get to roll an attack roll on the escaping direwolf.
18?
22.
Those
20.
hit. All 3 hit. Tell me about damage, Buffy.
9.
9 Barbara damage.
9.
5.
Okay. You all collectively murder a direwolf as it runs away.
Take that, you direwolf.
All right. And so you have survived a fight with wolves, classic level 2 Dungeons and Dragons. Is it the most exciting thing in the world? No, but now your destiny as an adventuring party has been paved. A story, the first chapter written in wolf blood, but also, let's be honest, a lot of your own blood, just like a
Yeah.
lot of your own blood. And I imagine that you stop and catch your breath here, rest for at least an hour on the wolf side of this river. And you can talk about strategy, think about what went well, do a classic debrief, and just appreciate what it's like to not be currently being murdered by a wolf. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is not how they said it was going to go when I went
Is
out
this
from
the
the
first
order.
time you left this monastery?
I
Like
mean,
today
I
was
think it
day
really
one,
is.
day one, hello.
I mean, I
I
think
was an
there's been
orphan.
some some
You get to
like
level 2.
stopping small
Yeah.
crimes and things, but like
Okay.
not really. I've not been out of the city.
Okay.
Um,
You left the order. You saw like a thing on a telephone pole that Buffy had put up.
yeah,
Adventures seeking,
and,
orphans preferred. Um, you
and
know.
yeah, and it was my calling to go and help. Yeah, so, but I think I need to heal in many different ways.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I
Well,
have many
short
different
rest will let
ways.
you use the hit dice, right? So
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
gonna do that. But I also get I can I can top myself up to full. Uh,
nice.
so that is good. Although that but I have burnt a lot of healing and various things just on wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think maybe if we talk to them first and maybe given them some other food, that would have happened. I suggest that we try to work with animals here, people, not just kill them.
They said that we were their food.
It's
Oh,
true.
but
They
you
did.
hit them first.
That's because they were quite threatening.
Leona,
They ran.
you think that the wolves might have been perhaps they are a challenging creature to work with because they are they're a predator, but these wolves in particular seem like they were under the influence of that dire wolf, and like maybe in another situation would have been more open to parlay.
Fallen
But
in with a
that
bad
Maybe.
crowd.
yeah, but that dire wolf seemed like not the greatest wolf out there, if you know what I
I,
mean.
I do. I think Leona's a little naive about
Yeah.
animals and such.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of naivety to go around, really.
Honestly, this is Barbie's first actual combat. She's been in some like threatening like posturing, but she's not actually been in
this is-
combat before. Also, she's not jumped over bridges. She just thinks she
Yeah,
can.
Yep. That I will say, just Annette, that made this. I think this would have been a walk in the park if the barbarian had not been basically
Right.
in a river for most of the fight.
Everybody else
know-
seems sort of shaken by the fight. Buffy looks down. She's covered in blood, and she's like,
wolf blood.
just like kind of, and her own blood, and just like
Yeah.
tilts her head, pops a couple of joints in her neck, and goes, here we go.
Just a Saturday afternoon for
Yep.
Buffy.
Yeah, just waking up, getting ready.
Yep.
Okay, well, clearly the next time we have to fight, we need to make sure that we get Buffy out of the river first. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Get
Barbie,
Barbie
out of the river first.
Yeah. Well, let's
Yeah,
not go in
I
the
would
river
not-
anymore.
Let's
Barbie will
ideally
just
not
practice
have more
jumping.
rivers.
Yeah, from I would not start any fights with one of your party in a river.
Yeah, on a short rest, Barbie spent some time practicing jumping.
Just
Yep.
That's good.
Jump.
I will say also you're a new group fighting together, figuring out what people's various strengths and weaknesses and their roles in combat. I will say that ended up being a very, I think, more exciting first encounter than usual in that 3 people got knocked unconscious. Death saving throws were rolled.
Yeah.
And good use of healing to keep people alive.
It's teamwork.
But it's and there is always, I will say, the challenging thing sometimes now that we've got a variety of healers, there is that challenge of, is your turn better spent doing healing or doing damage, is always a tricky tactical thing to think about. So you take an hour's rest And then I'm assuming would like to continue heading on through the wilderness
think
for
so.
Gorisbad.
Mhm.
All right. I'll say Gorisbad is it's more than the rest of the day travel, so you're able to you take a long rest at the end of the day, regain various things, and then early on the next day you come over a hill and you can see in the distance that kind of wreckage and ruins that is Gorisbad slash Kiristan. And let me tell you, it looks just like a map that you have seen before. Um,
I don't think their
What a
fortifications
surprise.
are particularly good because they've only got like walls just around the where the drawbridge is.
yeah,
But
it is not a walled city. It is primarily kind of protected by there's basically kind of a river that runs around it. It's kind of an oxbow situation where the river forms a loop, and most of Kiristan is inside that loop. There is a drawbridge, and you can even see there's kind of like a gatehouse built around the drawbridge, which is like the main entry point into Kiristan. And you can kind of see from your vantage point on the hill, they're just kind of this in this kind of little valley ahead of you. This, small to medium sized city. You see temples, you see what probably was like a marketplace. You see kind of, especially closer to the river, kind of, more modest one-room dwellings. It looks like bigger, fancier structures and homes as you head north. Um, yeah, looks like the map that
Yeah.
I mailed Jason in the
But
mail.
Buffy looks at the map
Yeah.
and is like, "Oh man, that's it. Like
Yeah, that's
this
it.
is a good map."
Yeah. Jason, that map is from when I first ran this adventure, so that piece of paper is quite old
Oh,
and
so
crinkly.
it's not artificially aged then. It's actually aged.
Well, all right. Behind the scenes, I found that when I was preparing for this adventure, and I was like, "Oh, I have a printout of this map that I printed out like 15 years ago, and it had like those crease marks from being folded up in a folder." And then I'm like, "But this is not beaten it up enough." So what I did is I found a paperclip and I hung it in my shower for about a week,
Cool.
so that it got steamed generously for a week,
That
and then
I
I crumbled
appreciate
it up
that.
some more,
Very
and then I put it in an
dedication to the
envelope
craft.
and sent it to Jason.
so that map has essence of Tony.
That's
No,
right.
Great.
it was it just got steam. It was just steam.
Steam.
Yeah,
Massachusetts steam.
yeah, that is imported steam that I have mailed to California. So this is Kiristan, also known as Gorisbad, and you seek the Slaying Stone, which is somewhere in here. I don't know if you have any ideas about where you would want to start your search within the city, and of course, there's the question of how are you going to get in to the city?
You mean other than crossing the drawbridge?
You could cross the drawbridge. It's possible that you would meet some creatures if you were to do that.
We haven't
Oh,
had a
it's
lot of good bridge-related luck so far.
true.
Mm.
There's
Um,
another bridge up in the corner.
Or river related.
There
A
is.
little one in the back.
There is, if you went all the way around Curacao, there is like a little footbridge on the north side of the town. You would have to kind of circumnavigate the woods around Curacao for a while, which,
No,
is
not
not.
if I made an iceberg.
Oh, okay.
Floated.
They're not going to notice us
Yeah.
like just going down the
A
river.
floating party
Yeah.
of adventurers.
Yeah. So I will just tell you, now that you are in the outskirts of Gorisbad, the thing to be aware of here is this is Goblin territory, and I mean, it basically how known or not known do you want your presence here to be?
Well, we definitely need to sneak in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not great at stealth,
I'm not
just
either.
for the record.
So why even try?
Would it
It's
make
not
sense
much.
though to more northern side of the town? Not like they're not going to be keeping their slaying stone in the average house. It would probably be in a temple or fortification or some fancy person's place.
We're gonna have to ask
Bef-
about the severed eyes, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I don't know that we can like get through this entire thing in stealth.
we can't.
Can
Well, you
we need
can't.
we need a cover story, basically.
Your goblin
What are we
inspectors.
inspecting?
Slaying stones.
Stone.
If
Stones.
only
Stone
there
and-
If only there was any other cover stories for adventures.
Well, especially because we can't talk to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if we
But-
dressed up like delivery people?
What we
Yeah.
might want to do is see if we can hire a local guide of some
Mm.
kind. Maybe somebody here who's on the outskirts of town, who's maybe a little bit peripheral but knows some stuff about there. If we could, find a streetwise urchin.
Somebody who doesn't mind fleecing a whole bunch of adventurers.
Right, because we also need
Kidnap a
somebody to speak
kobold, I
for
get
us.
you.
We could also
Mhm.
pose as a delegation of ambassadors from another goblin town and
Mhm.
coming to establish relationships.
Why
Non-goblin
did they-
ambassadors?
The
We're
goblins
very-
are very diplomatic as a people. I
Yeah.
found.
I think if we said we were from another town that was not goblins, I think that might be more convincing.
What if we just deny it? If they're like, "You're not goblins," we go, "Yes, we are." And
What?
we just
Maybe
deny,
we
deny,
grew up
deny.
in a goblin town and we were like the
Oh boy.
wolf
But we-
children, but
But
we were
we didn't
goblin
learn.
children.
We
Goblin
didn't
then.
learn the language.
Or,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
if we
oh.
run into like a trader or something, we could also ask to like bribe them or something to say that to ride on their wagon or walk with their wagon and say that we're working for them and we're unloading their wares or something like that. But I think getting a local or somebody who does business here is probably a good way to get in. Or we
Traders
could
are
really
good.
like to
goblin
trade in
inspectors.
people.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I bet we could put 5 of us in a cage and have one
Oh,
of us
yeah.
drag that
Mm.
cage into this town.
Do
I
we
think
know
so.
what languages are related to Goblin?
Yes.
Are there,
So,
like-
there are basically a variety of Goblin and Orcish languages, and many goblins speak Common too. So,
You try to speak to them in bad goblin and they'll just switch to common.
oh yeah, they'll, unless you're, in certain places.
Mispronounce croissant one time.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
One time.
I think-
Zootolars,
I think Celine is very uncomfortable about this whole situation because she's basically going into an, in quotes, evil town, and she just wants to like effectively arrest everybody and
Arrest.
Arrest. Yeah.
arrest their
Arrest
hearts.
their lives. Yeah.
You know, I can change into a cat or a rat, and I could run into the town, and I could. And you said the helm changes size, right?
Oh my god, a cat wearing an ugly little helmet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Recon
have-
Kitty.
I could be Rico Kitty, put the helmet on, and I could understand what was happening.
Or
and I
a
could come
rat,
back with information, or a rat.
because you could go viral and be helmet rat.
I could-
Helmet rat.
I don't know. Recon Kitty sounds pretty good.
Oh, I
I-
love them.
Adorable, right?
Cat.
I
cat
do
in a hat.
worry
Sing
that-
an
Cat in a hat.
espionage.
There it is.
I do worry that cats might be considered a local delicacy.
And
Oh.
rats aren't?
Well,
Rats
I
are
mean-
just as
Racist?
delicious as cats.
I mean, I can't give up cat in a hat.
Annette, I've asked you to not write that cookbook so many times. Oh.
Look, in the dream house, we ate
Yeah.
a lot of different delicacies.
Well, I'm down for either shape, but I could go in with the helmet, certainly try to stick to the shadows and see if I can't pick up any intel, like what would we want to know?
Mhm.
I mean, if you could just go in and get the stone, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
pop
that's the
in.
whole thing.
Well, I
Just
don't think I
be-
can't carry it.
Oh.
Just
As
a
a
rat
cat or a
dragging a
rat.
stone across the mud.
Yeah.
Maybe it's really small.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Yeah,
really
we
small
haven't-
and unguarded.
We haven't considered that the slaying stone is like 6 feet tall. So,
Shortest game ever. Take that, Wizards of the Coast.
So you have shared a variety of ideas of various subterfuges that you could use to get into Karasdan, or that you might use once in there. I will say, I think your first challenge is probably just getting into the city, and you might want to do that as a group. And your options are probably either there is a main gatehouse that you could. There's a drawbridge there. Or if you wanted to try and cross the river at some other point, it sounds like you've got, magical preparations to do that. The gatehouse is probably guarded, whereas most of Kiristan is just surrounded by this river and like even when this was like a military human settlement, they would not have been able to guard every, foot of the river. And, I will say just from a distance, the Kiristan slash Gorazbad does not look like it is doing great. Like the roads into Gorazbad have not been maintained. You do not see Buffy any wagons coming and going with merchants coming to bring goblin wares to sell at the non-existing goblin
Goblin
supermarket.
market. Well, then,
Yeah,
I mean, if we
I think I think fording the river or floating on an iceberg across the river into it maybe even at night into one of these fields might be a good idea, just to sort of like approach it very quietly and get our bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's some forest where Dax is across the river,
Yep.
we could hide in the forest.
It would not be. It would certainly that would be a place that would be easier to and you could I'm probably try and find a shallow and part of the river that is well obstructed by trees if you wanted.
And
Yeah,
given the way
that's a
the
great
gods
idea.
are rolling the
Mhm.
dice, I do not think we should go into another battle right away.
Mm.
Be my opinion. 'Cause
I
No,
was
I-
just looking at this.
fate is against us.
Is that a public bath up there? Because I don't know about you, but I could use a massage.
There is well, I think the status of it is in question, but you did see from the distance it looked like basically some kind of like hot springs with a bathhouse next to it.
Is this a spa we can take over, Tony?
I will say that there's a lot of room for new business here in Garsbad. There's not a lot of competition.
Franchise.
There
Yeah.
may not be a
Just
lot in terms of
saying.
tax incentives or customer base, but there is a lot of distressed realty that's
I mean, I
real
have
estate
some
that's
friends.
waiting
I think
for-
they would be interested in.
I will
Yeah,
tell you
and
also
those friends don't
Saying-
play taxes.
also the
Mm-mm.
location is not great. So yeah. Just to identify from a distance places that you may wish to investigate within Gorsbad, other than just the general neighborhoods. You saw what was clearly some kind of hot spring public baths. There's like a big fancy mansion that is probably like was the home to the mayor. There was a tavern. There's kind of a marketplace. There's some temples. There's look like possibly maybe some kind of library. Most of your standard mid-size small city types of things.
I'm-
So, oh, James.
I was just thinking that like if we are in the city, we might have better luck of like finding somebody who could vouch for us in a like bribe them.
I will say certainly as you stand on the hilltop scouting the terrain, does not look like there's anybody on this side of the river. But you can see various people, various creatures moving around in Kiristan.
How far across is the river? Because I could also make a frozen bridge with the water.
I'm gonna say the river is not very far across. We're gonna say it's probably about 10 feet at a nice narrow spot, and it also does not look like it is very deep either. It is not, I'd say, even for level 2 adventures, it's not too hard to cross a river if you are planning to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what you said last time, and we lost our barbarian.
I think
So
going-
I mean, Dax
Yep.
just went down and up, and it was not a big deal. So I don't know why other people
Well,
had to make it look hard.
I can very easily make a frozen bridge, and we can just walk
Yeah.
across with shape water.
Do you want to
Yeah.
just do that?
Yeah.
Everyone, are we in agreement? Maybe over by
And that's
there.
that's shape water, so you just do that. It just happens.
Yeah, I can just, it's cantrip. I can just do that.
Leona, why don't you roll nature to find like an area of the woods that you think would be particularly well suited for that in terms of not getting any detection.
So that's a D20.
Yep. Plus your nature score, which I think we've established is good.
Nature. 22.
All right. Leona, you spend some time scouting around in the woods and you find a nice place where like the river is, just one ice bridge wide and also provides lots of tree cover. And you wait until the time is right and boom, ice bridge. Everybody
bridge!
crosses the bridge without having to roll any athletics or acrobatic checks. On the edge of Kirastan here, there are some old farm pastures that it looks like no one has been cultivating in quite some time. So they've kind of grown wild. And as you pass through those without incident, you reach the kind of the perimeter where there are a lot of kind of small houses and shops, a lot of one room, one story buildings that are kind of in decay. And as you are kind of venturing into that neighborhood, you see something written on a wall in a language that you do not speak or read yet.
I put the helmet on.
You put the helmet on, you speak the words, you place your little halfling hand upon the wall,
We pick
and
you up.
Leona, you know that the written in kind of strange reptilian handwriting, it says that you are entering Kobold Town. What dangers await our friends here in the kobold neighborhood of Gorisbad? Will they be able to continue their incursion without detection? And how long will it be before they cross paths with the severed eyes? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Dun, 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 dun.
In Kobold Town.
In Kobold Town. Forget it, Kiristan. It's Kobold
It's
Town.
Kobold Town.
All right. Well, you got into the town without causing a fight and being murdered by goblins on a drawbridge and falling into another river. That's its own reward.
Yeah, win.
Not having
Woohoo!
Tony roll
Woohoo!
22s to hit the whole time.
I rolled a lot of great,
Whatever.
Not
lot of
one
great
wolf
wolf
failed.
rolls. No, those
Not
wolves
one.
were rolling fire there.
Real good, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, listeners slash bootleg, we have already scheduled. We will return in roughly 1 month on Saturday, June 8th is our plan to return with more Dungeons and Dragons level 2 adventures. But I think that's all we have to say for now. Jason, do you want to take us off?
I will. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.